Welcome back to the TheDimeMasPodcast. On this episode, we'll be speaking on several financial points that many people don't have a clear understanding of. Today's guest is Jordan Miller, a real estate agent, YouTuber, detailer, and stock investor. I hope you guys can enjoy and grasp something from this episode.
All right. Chilling.
All right, Jordan. Thank you for having us at your house today, man. I appreciate the invitation and having you on, bro. It's been in my plans since the beginning of the podcast, man. I remember a few months ago, I hit you up about the idea and your support from the beginning, but I'm glad it's a reality, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Thank you for coming out. I know it's been some crazy weather we've been having lately, so appreciate you sliding.
Yeah, of course, man. And especially with the whole topic of today and stuff, I knew from when the podcast was an idea that the people need to know. You know what I mean? That the information that you have is can literally change lives. And as you probably noticed in the past few weeks with the whole stock stuff going on, it literally has changed people's lives, man.
For sure. Yeah, man. Especially with like the whole like Gamestop thing. That was an eye opener for a lot of people. And a lot of people, never seen that type of money in their life.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I've been on like Reddit just checking what people are doing with some of that money that they got. They've been donating some of the money to charity, paying off like medical bills.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. It's changing people's lives.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you've been into the stock market for how long now exactly?
Yeah, man. Since 2018. Since around 2018, yeah. I started like day trading, and I didn't really know what I was doing too much, but I slowly learned, and I was making maybe like $200 a week.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but I was losing money too.
Yeah, exactly.
And with day trading for me, it was like really time consuming.
Yeah.
So you had to
watch those charts.
Exactly, like every minute. So I started learning about like dividend companies.
Yeah.
So more like passive income type stuff, and then I learned about Tesla stock, and it grew from there.
And so how old were you? You said at that point when you started, you were how old?
I was 18.
You were 18.
So
okay.
What's cool, whatever year it is, that's how old I am.
And since you were 18, I feel like at that point in time, the mind of one is really transforming. Especially, I feel like that's where a lot of paths are taken from either good or bad. You know what I mean? Because that age is a lot of freedom. I guess that's where it really starts.
For sure, yeah, man. 18, you're a young adult.
Yeah, exactly. You literally, your foot is in both sides of the door. You know what I mean? Exactly. So, how do you feel like? How do you feel like the principles you had beforehand, like, helped you lead to where you are now?
Yeah, man. I would say growing up, like my parents taught me discipline. For sure, my dad's in the military. My mom is a assistant principal. They both taught me, be disciplined. And then towards like the end of like high school, I would say, I didn't really know too much about what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So they gave me a bunch of freedom, and I started learning about like real estate, and got my real estate license when I was like 19.
So at that point in time, whenever you are like, I guess, have that support in your family, do you feel like that there was anything that like made you really grasp onto the support that they gave you? Because I feel like a lot of times now, our parents, most times parents do care for their children, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
They're told and they're guided, but there's always that lack of connection to the words that they're given, you know what I mean? So what do you feel like, was it the military background that made you have to like almost respect the words that you were, or words or guidance you were given?
Yeah, for sure. I always looked up to my father, so definitely.
Yeah. and how about your mom, man? Because I know that a mother's aspect of a child is a lot more connected than maybe a father's would.
Yeah, she basically said, do what makes you happy, do what you want to do in life, and gave me the freedom to do that.
Okay, and speaking of your family entirely, you have a military father and of an assistant principal mother, man, and that alone, those roles are both strong roles. You know what I mean? And
For sure.
Your brother as well, he decided to obviously have a successful path, man. How does it? Do you feel like it was meant to be in a sense, just due to the fact that it was in your bloodline, or do you feel like you kind of had to still earn it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I would say, yeah, it's definitely probably in the bloodline. My great-grandfather, he was a brick mason, had his own business, in some crazy times when America was wild. So I think it's definitely in the blood.
Okay. and even with Because you kind of help your brother out in the financial aspects too, correct?
For sure, yeah, man. Try to teach him as much as I can about investing, finances, budgeting, trying to, because really investing, you're just like a big business. Everybody's just a big business, exactly. And trying to keep him accountable. Yeah. So.
Have you guys always been close?
Honestly, I have another brother. So I have another brother. I was kind of closer to him growing up, but he's in the military, so he left when I was 18. So then when I was like 16 actually. So that's when I became close to Justin, my other brother, and we started to click.
Okay. Yeah, better late than never, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, do you feel like the principles that you had growing up reflected onto the principles you had on finance?
Yeah, man, for sure. To stay disciplined, to really see it through. I'm a long-term investor, so I want to hold something and not sell it before, because that's mostly I looked into it, is like, what are investors' biggest regrets is selling an asset too soon. Yeah. And I think just holding it. Yeah,
I feel like holding on to an asset reflects a lot of personally too. You know what I mean? Just to the fact of money in general. A lot of times people are already they get that check. You know what I mean? They already have an idea.
Go.
Yeah, exactly. They have an idea of where they're gonna spend it before they even get the check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And especially holding, it does take a lot of discipline, because I've seen my account down 40%, man, in a month. Yeah. And that was when March of 2020. So when
when all
that happened, man, the market's tanked, and a lot of people were selling, and I didn't sell.
Yeah, cause I feel like during that time when all those stocks were down, I feel like in each investor's eyes it was either a cup half full, a cup half empty. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of times I see your posts, man, you're often saying the stocks are on sale, rather than saying, yo, they're low, or seen it as a negative, like, yo, they're on sale, they're on sale.
Exactly. Yeah, man, a lot of those stocks that were down, that were beaten, especially like tech stocks, there was like no reason for these stocks to go down like that, and it was a huge sell. And if you would have bought those stocks in March, or really any time like the first 2 quarters of 2020, you'd be up a decent amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, that's all my friends talk to me about stocks growing up and stuff, but it was when in March that I really decided, okay, I'm gonna commit to, because I saw all the stocks down. You know what I mean? I was like, it's perfect time. Maybe it's a sign for me personally. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and grateful to God I took advantage of the opportunity, man, and I'm financially a little bit better. You know what I mean? The stocks have grown.
That's what it's all about, man.
Exactly.
And it's consistency is key with investing. Monthly, weekly, try to buy stocks. Yeah. Every time you get paid, take a little bit of your paycheck, put into our stocks.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing too about principle. You know what I mean? Is knowing, like, from the jump. Like I've read in a lot of books, the first person you should pay is yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if anybody deserves it, it's yourself. You know what I mean? You're the person who put the time and effort towards the job or the work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So why throw that out so quickly?
Exactly.
When did you decide, like, had the mentality of, okay, I'm comfortable where I'm at, like, with the stocks and knowledge and stuff, to go to the YouTube side of it?
Yeah, I would say I kind of started the YouTube to kind of have like a journal, a diary, if you will, to document the process of investing. I started the YouTube thing like the end of 2019. So I would just document, what I'm buying, what I'm holding. I did sell one stock. I sold Ford. During when everything was going down, I put that into Tesla. Yeah. But like I documented all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and do you feel as though that the YouTube reflects onto the idea of being consistent with stock? Because I noticed that now you're being more consistent with the YouTube videos. You know what I mean? And do you feel like the information you're giving out is, I don't want to say valuable, but what's the word? Like, do you feel like the content is respected as it should be, I guess?
Yeah, I get a lot of engagement. People, saying this really helped. I interviewed this lady. She never really invested, and I helped her set up her account for the first time, and she like sends me texts like, "You changed my life." And I mean, I'm like, wow, that blows me away. So
How does that feel, man?
it feels great. You know, I'm glad I can share the knowledge and show other people that there's other ways to make money. I think the best thing you can do is to, you know, make money in your sleep.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly trying to make money when you're awake, you know, trading your time for money, you're never gonna like retire.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna keep working. It's endless. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because like honestly, whenever I first found out about your YouTube channel, man, it was a blessing, man, and I can't even say it was in disguise because it was literally in my face, man. Coming from a household with one parent, you know what I mean? It's like, especially like my mother passed when I was 4, for example, and it was just my dad, and for the meantime, he was just working, you know what I mean? So I never had a full connection with him. Mm-hmm. So I realized growing up that I didn't have much guidance, you know what I mean? So now that I'm older, it's like I have to seek the guidance myself, you know what I mean? And to have someone like you really put it out there, man, and you know what I mean? I'm glad that I'm a local from Manassas too, you know what I mean? So having that information there really, it gives me more of a reasoning to try. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man. That's honestly what I'm all trying to do. You know, trying to just help people, and I just want to document for 20 years down the line. What did I do when I was younger?
Exactly, man. And for the next generation too. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's what I love about the internet and like what time we're growing up in.
Yeah.
Is the internet is you can make a video and share it with millions of people. The video's not going anywhere.
Exactly, and you can literally inspire the people from across the world.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I got people in like Europe watching that video.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, it's like that topic of stock is a worldwide thing too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And what you spoke about earlier of working in your sleep, people don't get the concept that you often talk about, which is money is a tool, not the goal, right?
Exactly.
Can you explain that a little bit more, man?
Yeah, money's definitely a tool. There's a lot of ways you can use money. You can use money to buy. There's 2 categories. You have assets. You have liabilities. Assets are things that put money in your pocket. Liabilities are things that take money from your pocket. So if you, I don't know, jewelry that. It
depends. Once you're comfortable, right? We'll talk about that chain later.
Yeah, I mean, but for the most part, most jewelry is a liability.
Yeah.
So it's taking money from your pocket, usually depreciates in value. An asset is a stock, cryptocurrency, real estate, things that put money in your pocket and pay you residually. So.
And whenever you first started to get into the whole take finance a lot more seriously, what were the basic practices that you decided to take on first? Because I feel as though you can overwhelm someone with information and advice, you know what I mean? And that overload can kind of push them away of the idea. So what do you feel like are some basic practices or habits that you kind of started off with?
Yeah, man, I would say invest in things that you see and you know. We all have iPhones in our pocket.
Yeah.
Look into Apple stock. I see a bunch of Teslas around. I started looking into them. So really just buy things that you see and know and hold on to those things forever.
Anything about percentages of saving, let's say, or you know what I mean? Because I know you read a lot, so maybe the knowledge you gain from the books you read, you know what I mean?
Yeah. As for saving, I'm pretty much, I don't know if are you familiar with what a minimalist is?
I have an idea. It's I saw it on your shirt once, but after that, I looked it up and said, yeah, it's someone who tries to live minimally, right?
Yeah, correct. Exactly. I mean, like we live in a society where you gotta impress everybody, and I think being a minimalist, if you look into it, you just live a minimum life. I mean, you don't own a bunch of things.
Yeah, exactly. Because what's the point of owning so much when you can't really back it up? You know
yeah, I mean? A lot of people, like, you'll be traveling, you still got tags in your suitcase, you're not wearing this stuff. So I think just, live a chill life.
Yeah, but I feel like that has a lot to do with egos nowadays, you know what I mean?
That's true.
And the idea of people, it's sad because people tend to live for others.
Yeah.
Like literally, man, they be stressing about other people's thoughts or opinions when in reality you're the only one living your own life.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Learn about yourself. I think especially in your 20s, figure out who you are as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't try to live for other people.
Yeah, exactly, man. But what books have you read?
Yeah, man. So the book that put me onto all this game was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I know you said you read some of that. That's a great book. It kind of just shows you the different, you got your rich dad, you got your poor dad. And that was a great book. I've read Think and Go Rich. I'm reading a book about Bitcoin, The Rational Male. I don't know if you know, that's kind of out there. I'm reading that. So I just got that one actually today. But yeah, those are a couple of books.
And by the way, for the audience or people watching, it's like all these books that he's saying they're audio books to each and every single one of them.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Audible.com. You can start your free trial, get like one free book.
There you go. We're promoting and everything. So
That.
what's it called?
My bad.
no, I'm just joking. I'm fucking with you. But like rather than spend like a few hours each day or like an hour a day, 30 minutes a day of a few songs, people can just listen to a podcast or a book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That because the song never changes.
Yeah.
You don't gain anything from the
Listen to
song.
the same thing.
Exactly. So why not take the time to seek knowledge or change or learn something?
Yeah, and that's what I love about like YouTube, man. I'm on YouTube a lot. You can learn. I call it the University of YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube. So that's where I kind of learn about finances, the internet, Google, all on the internet.
Yeah. Do you believe in that whole the save 10% thing, or is there a different type of
Yeah, like as for your income.
Yeah, as your income, like 10% goes to you.
Yeah, I definitely believe in that. I want to read this book. It's called Profit First, but like you said, any dollar that you get, you automatically pay yourself first.
Yeah.
I'd have to do the math. I don't know my savings rate, but I'd say it's probably more than 40%.
Yeah.
So every dollar that comes into my bank account, at least 40% of that goes into investments.
Yeah. So. Dang. But then again, that's a big chunk, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's a big chunk. That's hard to do, I guess, when you're not a minimalist. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I've had a super supportive upbringing. You know, my parents are chill, so I do get to save a bunch of them.
Yeah, exactly. But what's up, bro?
Oh, the mic.
The mic? Okay, yeah. Can you just raise it a bit just so that the
Yeah, I
audio
got you.
just straight.
Hold up, let me fix this. Oh, it was bouncing?
It is low.
Is that straight? Back it up. Bag it up. Talk about a tequila.
I know, for real, man.
No, you can't.
So how does it feel now with all that 40% of saving and stuff to finally reach those 6 digits, man?
Yeah, man, it feels great. You know, it was definitely propelled by Tesla stock.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that a little later. But yeah, save 40% of my income, and then what am I gonna do with this cash? And I invested. So, and investing really catapults and snowballs what compounds what you already have. Yeah.
Would you mind explaining to the people the idea and concept of dividends, man? Because I remember a long time ago I asked you about that. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people may be questioning. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, dividend. So you own a stock. The stock pays you residually. So one of my favorite dividend companies is Realty Income. The ticker symbol is O. That one's a great one in my opinion. So with Realty Income, for example, they're a REIT, so real estate investment trust, and they go out, acquire properties and lease those properties and then pay their shareholders 90% of that income to their share. And they legally have to do that as a REIT. Yeah. So 90% of that income goes to your pockets.
So the amount of stock it factors to how much they give you on dividend, correct?
Yeah, so the more shares you own in that company, the more you'll get paid. So with Realty Income, I think the stock price right now, and they change, daily, it's like $60 a share, but they'll pay you about 25 cents a month. Okay. So, I mean, if you start owning, getting up there, you can get paid pretty decent.
Yeah, and then the idea of dividend as well is kind of like a snowball effect, right? Because you can have it set up to the dividends automatically reinvest into that same stock, and then it just goes on by itself.
And it grows and grows. Yeah, I watched this one YouTuber. He's all dividends, so his account it's been going crazy lately from just the snow. He started like 3 years ago, and I've been watching him ever since.
What YouTubers do you watch when it comes to all this stock talk?
Yeah, man. The one that put me onto Tesla was Financial Education. His name is Jeremy. He's great. He posts a bunch of content. I watch Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin. The other guy's name, the dividend guy, is Joseph Carlson.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people out there that know what they're talking about.
But let's talk about this bottle, man. This beautiful piece right here, man.
Yeah, man, that thing is beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's a collector's item. It came out in November of 2020. It was like $250 a bottle. He made it, I believe, as like a joke. That's kind of what they do. It's made by Tesla, if you guys don't know. But yeah, and I bought it as a collector's item. Plan to pop it open when I hit 7 figures.
There you go. When he hits the first mil.
Yes, sir.
Damn,
yes, sir.
Man. And do you have maybe like an idea of when you expect that time to be?
Yeah, man. I would say around 2024. So a few years away.
Yeah, a few years away, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Baby steps.
Yeah, man.
Damn, bro. And with all this Robinhood talk, man, can you kind of explain the gossip? You know what I mean, of everything that's happened lately?
Yeah, man. So I'm in Robinhood myself, and I'll share some personal experiences. So a bunch of people on Reddit started to notice that these companies were being heavily shorted. So you can short a stock or you can like buy the stock. When you short a stock, you are betting against the company that it's going to go down. So a bunch of people on Reddit started to notice that people were shorting GameStop or like AMC. But GameStop was the most shorted stock. Like 140% of all their shares were shorted. So they had a huge short position on this stock. And people on Reddit just they're like, hey, let's buy this stock. Yeah. If you buy the stock, you make it go up. And then these short sellers have to cover their position. So when as it goes up, they're losing a lot of money.
Yeah, because they have to pay back with the stuff that they...
Yeah. So a bunch of people on Reddit started buying it, and then it snowballed, man. People on Twitter, and it just went viral. And a bunch of people started buying this stock. It went from like, I think it was like $4, bro, to like $500.
Yeah.
In like 2 weeks. Yeah. It was the craziest thing ever. But then Robinhood stepped in, and Robinhood's it's like the easiest platform to use whenever you're like buying stocks. Yeah. And they stepped in and they stopped people from buying GameStop. So you couldn't buy GameStop, but you could sell. And that was like super shady.
Yeah, exactly. So they're protecting the bigger...
They're protecting it was like a war. So the Reddit people were like everyday people like you and I. And then the hedge funds that shorted the stock, they were the billionaires, traditional Wall Street investors. So it was a crazy time. But my brother, he was in GameStop, man. This is my other brother.
Yeah, the oldest one, correct?
Yeah. He made like $200K. It was the craziest thing.
He got it perfect timing.
But what happened was it made us so mad. So it went to like 500, and everybody on Reddit was like, hold to 1,000, hold to 1,000. We're not letting you go to 1,000. So he was holding. And then that day came when you couldn't buy anymore. Yeah. And it messed everything up. It messed the whole momentum. Yeah, and it just went sideways. Yeah. And but yeah, he took a few profits, but he was up like $200K. So
that's insane. Yeah. Was he a long-term investor in GameStop, or did he just get on the wave early?
He just got on the wave. He got in early though. He got in super early. He was on. I don't know. That was crazy time for him. But yeah, he was on the Reddit. He's the one that put me onto it. Yeah. I personally didn't put any money into it, but I was just watching from the sidelines.
And the whole point of short selling is to eventually get those companies bankrupt, right?
Bankrupt, yeah. And usually what they do, they reacquire the companies, rebrand it, making it to a new company. Yeah. They did this with Toys R Us. I'm not sure what they are today, but yeah, Kohl's, I think they're about to go. Sears is about to go. So.
And with that big factor of Robinhood, man, and the fact that they did that shady shit, you know what I mean, to us regular people, man. Do you plan on sticking with them?
Yeah, man. I still personally do have a Robinhood account. I'm waiting. I'm thinking about switching to Vanguard because Robinhood, how they make money is they sell your data. Okay. And they were selling the data to the billionaires that were shorting GameStop. Yeah. So that's where I got super shady. Like people were like, "Come on now," and they stopped us from buying the stock. So yeah, I'm thinking about switching. It'd be Vanguard.
Is it the same type of concept? I'm not too informed of Vanguard.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just a broker. So Robinhood came around, I don't know when Robinhood came out, probably like less than 10 years ago. But they were the first ones to do commission-free trading. Okay. So back in the day, investing was for like the rich people.
Yeah, exactly.
And you had to pay to buy stocks
Yeah.
or sell stocks. And Robinhood came around and invented commission-free trading, but they sold your data. So, but now every other brokerage is commission-free trading, which is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have an idea of when you plan on moving, or you're just waiting for?
Yeah. So I have I have a margin loan against my account, so I'm waiting to pay that back. And possibly, probably in like a couple months.
Okay. Damn. See, cause I remember how supportive you were of
I
Robinhood.
love Robinhood, yeah. So I kind of want to see how this like unfolds,
Plays
honestly.
out, yeah.
Because it is, it just happened not too long ago. So, but Robinhood's, Robinhood, the founder, Vlad, he went on Clubhouse with Elon Musk. And he was just basically like, what happened? Yeah. And he was saying basically they didn't have enough money to cover that day. So whenever Robinhood, like every day, they have to send money to this company, and Robinhood literally didn't have enough money to send to that company for you to buy the stock. Or so that's what they said. I mean,
yeah, cause I know Elon was against it. He was for the people too, man. In some of the interviews he's had.
Yeah, for sure. I love Elon. He's all about the people.
How about what do you think about the whole Doge thing that happened? You know what I mean? I know he's supportive of it now.
Yeah, man. Doge started out as a joke as well. That was just a joke coin. The people that made it kind of came out recently. They were like, "What just happened?" Yeah. They were so shocked. Yeah. But yeah, I like Dodge. It's pretty good. It's just a joke to me, honestly, though. Yeah.
But you think Elon was taking it as a joke too? Because he was marketing it.
He definitely was. Him, Snoop Dogg, a bunch of people were marketing it. But I think it was more, Elon is a pretty smart guy. Yeah. He was doing it to shed awareness to cryptocurrencies as a whole.
Exactly.
And then he came out and purchased with Tesla 1.5 billion of Bitcoin. Yeah. So I think it was just like a strategy to just show people.
Are you getting onto the crypto wave, man, or have you been in it?
Yeah, so I've been in the crypto since April of 2020.
Okay.
So a couple months. Yeah, man, crypto is definitely the new wave. And that was a great transition. And with crypto, so from the Gamestop to people moving to crypto, was because you can't stop people from buying crypto. It's decentralized. Yeah. So no one entity has control over it. And the best thing about Bitcoin is you can't make more. So there's a certain amount. It's super scarce. Yeah, exactly. There's 21 million Bitcoin, and there's about 8 billion people on the planet. Yeah. So if you do some math, I mean, not everybody's gonna get a Bitcoin.
Exactly.
So I think the people that adopt this new technology early, you'll be heavily rewarded.
Yeah, long term. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've already seen Bitcoin. I think it's at like almost 50K right now as we speak. So. It's crossing milestones, man.
Yeah, and I was reading something the other day, man. There's actually an NFL player that's getting paid in Bitcoin now, man. He was the first in the league, and that just shows itself that it's no joke, man. It's no joke. Come up.
For sure, yeah, man. Twitter, the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, he's super into Bitcoin, and they're looking to pay their employees in Bitcoin within the next few months. And I think we're gonna start seeing. So Tesla was the one that kind of showed everybody what to do, I guess you could say. And I think we're about to start seeing like Apple, all these other big tech giants do the same, where they convert some, because these companies have billions of dollars just sitting cash. Yeah. And we all know cash, it's inflation, 2% a year. You're losing some of your buying power. Yeah, exactly. So they need to, put
it somewhere.
What should we do with this money? So Elon looked into Bitcoin and thought it was a good. He put like 15% of their cash into Bitcoin. So.
How are you feeling about Tesla as a whole? I know you're supportive of their cars and SpaceX and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, I love Tesla. I got all the memorabilia right here.
There you go. Short shorts too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Short shorts too. Hey, 100K likes on Twitter, I'll wear those.
There you go, 100K.
I'm not wearing them if y'all don't get me to 100. So, Tesla, yeah, they're a green energy company. And their mission, literally on their website since like 2012, has said to transition the world to sustainable energy. I really think, we need that, to get us off fossil fuels. Yeah. They make cars, of course. They make solar panels. And the biggest constraint that we've seen in the recent times is we can like put solar on every roof in the world. We can have all these windmills in the world, but we don't have anywhere to store. The sun only comes out, you know,
Exactly.
a couple hours a day, or whatever.
Yeah. Depending on where you are too, it could be less. You know
Exactly.
What I mean?
So what Tesla's engineering is batteries. They're the biggest manufacturer of batteries, and that's their long-term advantage. Is their battery technology is out of this world. They just came out last year, Battery Day. They're working on a factory in Texas right now that's gonna pump out an insane amount of batteries.
Hopefully more Joe Rogan and an Elon podcast coming soon, man. That'll be
for
neighbors,
sure.
man. That'd be dope.
Yeah, man.
Dope. And on the podcast itself, man, he was talking about the vehicle safety.
Oh yeah.
How in all aspects they got 5 stars. You know what I mean? That's pretty insane. That just shows.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, Tesla, you know, they make some badass cars, super fastest cars in the world, and some of the safest cars in the world.
Yeah.
He prioritizes safety over anything.
Well, what's the 0 to 60?
So the new Model S Plaid that comes out later this month, that ships literally this month, it just got refreshed. 0 to 60 in 1.96 seconds.
Damn.
Quarter mile under 9 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's insane.
When are you going to be posting soon? My Tesla stock got me my first Tesla. When's yours coming, man?
Yeah, man. Are you familiar with the Cybertruck? You know.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
So yeah, I would love to get one. They come out next year, sometime in 2022. But I don't know. I ordered it. I pre-ordered the Cybertruck, but I pre-ordered it with intentions for it to be a robo-taxi. Okay. So it can go out and collect. It's like an Uber, but with no driver, and just pick people up.
So it'll literally be driving itself?
It'll drive itself. And that's what they're working on too. So Tesla's like just a huge conglomerate of like all these startups in one company. Yeah. So you got like cars, FSD, all these like manufacturing skills.
Do you have trust in those autonomous vehicles?
Yeah, man. I test drove a Tesla twice, and I did the full self-driving. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty advanced. And that was like a year ago. And right now they're working on this beta edition that like only a certain number of customers have them. But from the YouTube videos, man, it's pretty crazy. And that's AI. It's super intelligent. So I trust it. Yeah, I trust it.
You'll be napping in your car and shit?
I literally seen, so I forgot where we were going. This was like 2 years ago. We were coming from a family reunion. It was me, my brothers, and like my cousins. And we were on like 95. Bro, there was a guy in a Tesla. He was on his phone driving. He's driving. And laid seat all the way back on his phone just like this. The car was driving like 70 miles an hour down 95. Yeah. So it's getting there, man.
There's a video. You know who Lil Duval is?
I don't.
He's a comedian, man. There's a video of him lean back smoking a Fat J, dude. And the
Tesla?
Yeah, the Tesla just cruising, man.
It's tough, bro.
He looks relaxed, man. It's crazy because people really do have that trust in that shit.
It's the next wave, for real. And I think we're about to start. And, like, Elon has always said, like, FSD, full self-driving, is going to go to some astronomical number. It's going to be, like, worth $100,000, which I believe because most of the times your car, 95% of the time, your car is just outside sitting doing nothing. Yeah. So imagine when your car is able to autonomously pick people up, deliver food.
So that itself is another source of income, correct?
Another source of income, great, yeah. So that's why I got the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Or I pre-ordered it. So if full self-driving's out and day one I can make money, then yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it, no question.
and you started doing the detailing thing, right? How'd that start, man?
Yeah, so that was the first kind of venture I got into. So that was in 2015. I used to live in Tennessee, and I started detailing my parents' car. I couldn't even drive, so I started detailing their car on the weekend just for fun. And my neighbor, she was like, "Hey, will you do my car?" And I was like, "Sure." And man, I had the whole neighborhood on lockdown. Like I had this
that cash was flowing.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was my dad and I. We would do them on the weekends, just knock them out, man. It was like clockwork. And we had this nice Corvette, this old Mustang.
I be seeing you post them, man.
Bro, it was so crazy. But then we moved here, and I'm just rebuilding the business.
Yeah. And did you have any other ideas of a side source of income, or that just happened to be it?
Yeah. So obviously detailing. I'm a real estate agent as well. And then investing. Those are pretty much most of my incomes.
Well, what benefits? I know there are a few benefits for first time buyers now with the whole new with Joe Biden and can you go into depth with that?
Yeah, so with first-time home buyers, if you're in Virginia, so I'm licensed in Virginia, so I only know what's in Virginia, but the VHDA loan, it's like the VA loan. The VA loan's for military people.
Yeah.
But the VHDA loan is pretty similar, and a normal civilian can get it. So you and I can get qualified for it. You have to meet like the income requirements and the credit. But basically, you can come to the table, and that was my first buyer. He used the VHDA loan and came to the table with zero money down. So bought a whole house, nothing out of pocket.
Yeah. Are there any other benefits that you've seen for first time buyers?
No, not as of recently. No, except like interest rates are pretty low.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are buying like bigger houses because you can afford more because the rates are low. So yeah, I've seen that take off.
So how did you help Justin get his place down there, or not? You stick to Virginia?
Yeah, so unfortunately, no, I didn't help him. He's in an apartment right now. He's trying to get his finances in order to buy in like a year or two. But no, I didn't help him. Okay. But I have my aunt, she needed an agent to sell her house in North Carolina. And you can refer an agent to her or to whoever and get a little commission off that. So I did that with her. Okay. So that was pretty cool.
Do you like the idea of real estate, man?
Yeah, I think long-term real estate is a great store of value. A lot of people buy real estate as an investment. And that's kind of why I ventured into real estate, is because I wanted to learn more of the investing side of real estate and just surround myself with that.
And you'll have all the information from inside out. You know what I mean?
Man.
Which is the best
people that have been in the industry for 25, as old as I am. People have been in the industry. So, yeah, I love real estate.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of times nowadays when, I guess not even when people don't know what they're doing or what decision to make, I feel like real estate agency is a solid way to at least start, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's literally what I was doing. So I was 18, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really want to go to college. So I thought real estate was pretty interesting. Yeah. And my parents bought a house. I think I was 17. The agent was pretty cool. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool what she does. You know, she just shows houses.
Well, what agency do you work for?
I'm with Long and Foster. Okay. So out in the Woodbridge area.
You happy with them so far?
Yeah, for sure. Well? Yeah. There's other brokerages out there. There's like different fees associated with different brokerages. Yeah. So I'm definitely, I wouldn't say I'm loyal to Long and Foster, but if something comes along and it has better fees and it helps me more economically, then yeah, I'll probably switch. But they're all pretty much the same. Long and Foster, Keller Williams. They're all the same.
That's true. And do you plan that's gonna be your main source of income, at least for now?
Yeah, for now. I would say I want to kind of build like a little empire through 2030. So 2020 to 2030, and just focus on real estate, selling houses. That's how I got, most of my income. And then I want to venture out into like content creation. Okay. But that's what I'm doing like on the side.
Yeah,
with my
exactly.
thing.
You're just getting the practice in.
Yeah. So, but yeah, long term, I definitely do love real estate, and I'll probably own real estate. Yeah. So, yeah.
And do you plan on like, because the whole point of real estate too, what you want to, I'm assuming you first want to get is a place to rent out, correct? That's another thing that people don't really get the concept of people buying houses to rent out as that source of income as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's a huge, like I said, great. Real estate's always gonna be here. God only gave us so much land, so real estate's a great store of value, and to rent it out. That's actually what I'm in the process of doing right now, is getting pre-approved to buy a house. Okay. So yeah, I definitely plan to get a rental property.
And do you plan on buying here in the local area?
Yeah, so I just moved out to Fredericksburg. The house prices are a lot cheaper than if you go up north.
It's more spacious as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But you get more bang for your buck out here. So you can get like a little townhouse for like $200,000, man.
Oh, so you plan on buying here around this Fredericksburg area?
Yeah,
Damn, okay, yo.
My goal would be to do, so there's different loan programs, so like FHA, VA. So I do a FHA loan, 3.5% down, and you have to live in it for 1 year. So you have to live in it as your primary residence, and then after the year's up, you can rent it out and do whatever you want.
Do you want to get a place to rebuild at all, or just it finished?
Yeah, for sure. So, man, I saw this crazy deal. I wasn't in the position to do it, but it was like $150,000, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house. It was a townhouse. Needed a lot of love, though. Yeah. And that's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. I want to fix it up. It's not bad to put the time in.
Exactly, yeah. So it was like $150,000. Needed some work, but you put in that work, you can rate the properties beside it. We're literally selling for like $230.
Yeah.
So
Damn, yeah.
that's
And
almost
that's the thing about
$100,000.
it too. When people don't get the idea or that fixing a home, for example, the money that you're putting into it, you're gonna get right back out. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
gonna multiply. That's the
Exactly.
thing about assets that if you can make it grow. You know what I mean? It'll show the love right back rather than just spending the money and throwing it out.
Exactly. Yeah, you fix up a house. So when you buy a house, you got to get an appraisal. That's how much the bank will loan to you to buy the house. So you can do a cash out refinance, and you can get the property reappraised. So say you bought the house and it was like it needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, you fix it up. It's pretty. You get it reappraised. You can. I mean, it depends on the circumstance, but you get it reappraised for $100,000 more.
Yeah.
You can cash that out and do it into the next property and just keep rebuilding that.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing we talked about earlier, snowball effect.
Exactly, and that's how you do it with real estate.
Yeah.
So.
And do you have any advice for, let's say, someone looking for a home
Yeah, man.
to hit you up?
Yeah, of course. Hit me up. I got you. Definitely, like, do some research. Look into it. Talk to an agent. Talk to multiple agents if you want to. Talk to a lender. But yeah, I would say get a reputable agent. They can point you in all the directions to buy a house.
Yeah. And any advice for a first-time investor?
Be consistent, and don't panic sell because if you see your account down 20%, don't be afraid. That's the risk you take.
Yeah, it's
being
a part of the
investing.
game.
That's part of the game. So yeah, that's my advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, just for one more, I guess, point of view. You know what I mean? Anything for someone who's just trying to save money? Anyone who's just trying to build or maybe gain another source of income?
Yeah, I would say if you're trying to save,
Do you save any money before we get into that? Do you save any money or are you just straight investing?
yeah, most of my money's invested.
Okay.
I don't really have cash.
Okay.
Yeah, I save money, but then it goes into investing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're saving money, I would say just cut back on like unnecessary stuff, and get a budget. A lot of people don't have budgets.
Yeah.
I use mint.com. It's free.
You totally got me hip to it
Yes,
last
sir.
week.
Yes, sir. Mint.
Yeah.
That's great. I've been budgeting since like 2018, and it's great. It helps.
Whenever you first started, I guess, would you like journal your spending? Or would you just use it through apps and stuff like that?
I would do it through Mint.
Okay,
Yeah. So that's the
Mint.
beautiful thing about Mint is it connects like all your debit cards,
Yeah.
credit cards, all your bank accounts, your investment accounts, and it just tracks everything. So whenever you go out and buy a cheeseburger or whatever, it'll show up in there and it'll be like, hey, you're over budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Chill out.
Yeah, you get that guilty conscience on your shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about it, that people can say they want to save a specific amount, but you don't notice every time you're swiping. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's nice to have that reminder.
Right in front of you. Yeah, it's great. So I highly recommend using Mint for anybody.
Yeah.
Budgeting is how you make it.
Okay. I appreciate it, bro, and I appreciate you being on the podcast, man.
No
to everyone
problem.
out there listening, you have no excuse to not put the time and effort towards income, man. Every single one of you guys have value, and the information's out there. Like Jordan said earlier, YouTube is where you can find anything.
Anything.
Yeah, anything for real. And you may not come from much. I'm a testimony to that. You may not come from much. I'm not saying I came from the worst, but if you seek success, man, you can find it. And I'm not the most successful, but you know what I mean, I pray to God that I'll be better than my last generation, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys exactly, I will be, manifest that. But I appreciate you guys for listening. I hope you guys find the information helpful, and please do me the favor, yo, and check them out on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
Subscribe. It's quality information, and give them the information, bro, like the YouTube and the Twitter.
Man, I would we're gonna have everything in the bio, but I would say my Twitter, I post almost daily, is Jordan Miller 910. Go follow my Twitter, and I have like all my other accounts on there, YouTube, Snapchat, all that stuff. So yeah, check out my Twitter.
Okay, sounds good, yo. Check them out. I appreciate you guys for having us, and I appreciate you too, Jordan.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming.
Peace.